So for today's video, we'll be taking a look back at one of my older videos, which was killing gargoyles for 1 hour. Now, we did that one over 3 years ago, and some things have changed since then. Most notably, we have our Inferno Cape, which, if I remember correctly, there was a comment on there that said that I should have been killing them in max. And, you know, that of course requires getting an Inferno Cape, and I didn't have one at the time, but now I have one, and we're back to do it. But I'm not killing it in max. Instead, we are sticking with the Guthan's method because I think, you know, being able to AFK something and make some money and get some XP is always great. We did make some changes, however. Besides the Inferno Cape, we did swap out some of the other gear upgrades. I think before I had an Amulet of Fury. This time I'm bringing a Torture. I had Dragon Boots last time for whatever reason. This time I'm bringing Primordials. Last time we had Barrow's Gloves, but I'm bringing Ferocious Gloves this time. So just minor strength upgrades. Still bringing the Berserker Ring imbued because I don't have the new ones that have come out. Yeah, I need to go grind those bosses out. So we'll be sticking with this one for now, but that's pretty much the only upgrade that we are missing. Now, as for the inventory, I brought my Saradomin God Sword. Before, I brought a Dragon Battle Axe because it was basically a free strength potion, and I brought that with Restore Potions to restore my stats because every time you use that special attack, it drains your attack and defense and other stuff like that. This time we're just bringing Saradomin God Sword for the prayer restoration and hit point restoration. That'll allow us to use Piety for however long we last with that. Instead of bringing like super combat potions or super divine potions or relying on the Dragon Battle Axe, I opted to bring some cheap but effective combat potions which raise our attack and strength by plus 12. I highly recommend bringing these. They are extremely cheap and very effective. Down here we have the Slayer Ring to get to where we need to go. We have our Max Cape to go back to our POH to restore our stats and get more supplies if we need to. We have a Slayer Helmet because we're going to be running through the Spectres area, and if you're not wearing a Slayer Helmet, they reduce your stats quite heavily, so make sure you bring that. We have a Rune Pouch with Nature Runes and Fire Runes for high level alchemy, and we have a Rock Hammer. Do not forget your Rock Hammer, you need this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and show you where we need to go. So we'll rub the Slayer Ring, teleport to Mauritania's Slayer Tower, and that'll take us directly to the tower. So now from here we'll just go north, we'll go up the chains. Don't forget to equip your Slayer Helmet. You can protect Mage if you want to, just to avoid any unnecessary damage. Go up the stairs. And here we are. Here are the gargoyles. Now, as for the item drops, I will try to pick up... I was going to say I'll try to pick up everything, but in reality, I'm probably not. Like, if there's no text box, then I'm probably not going to pick it up. I mean, like, right now, I'll grab it just because I see it. But since we're doing 1,000 kills, a lot of stuff is probably going to be left behind. But that's what we have the loot tracker for. That will keep track of everything for us. So if you're curious as to what you would get if you were to pick up every single drop, then you'll be able to see that. So shouldn't be a problem. Now the wiki does say that you can get about 150 kills an hour, and that's around 600,000 GP in profit. It's not the best, but it's not too bad either. I mean, you are getting some combat XP, and like I said, it's pretty AFK. So yeah, it's not bad. Sorry about that. I had to reset and get the NPC aggression timer plugin working, so I had to run around a little bit, but we got it working. Just in case you're wondering what this is, basically, this timer will let us know whenever the NPCs become unaggressive, and at that point, you'll want to step outside the boundary, and it'll reset the aggro, so you can just AFK some more. Otherwise, if you just stay here the entire time, they will eventually stop attacking you, and then you can't AFK. You have to manually click on these guys. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I didn't last very long before deciding to switch the ring out. Like I said, I didn't have the best in slot rings right now from the Desert Treasure bosses, so I'm like, you know what? Might as well just swap for a Ring of Wealth imbued so that we can collect the coins automatically. One thing that I wanted to mention really quick is that these gargoyles aren't actually as AFK as I thought they would be because, well, that's not true. Technically, you can like leave your keyboard. The only problem is that even if you're like right next to a gargoyle, they won't immediately attack you. So you'll be just here not doing anything for a good minute. And it's kind of annoying because I get that idle notification popping up. You might have heard it in the background. So I might have to turn that off. But yeah, it kind of sucks that you're just there not doing anything for quite some time. So you can leave it like that if you want, or you can, be impatient like me and just end up clicking all the gargoyles once you see that you're not moving or doing anything. But at that point, it's not as AFK. So yeah, kind of sucks in that regard, but I guess it's not that big of a deal. I'm actually getting pretty close to dying. I don't know if I'm getting unlucky or if it's just the strength gear that I brought. But I might consider switching back to the tanky stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But there it is. Granite Mall valued at 213,000 GP. That seems like a lot more than what it used to be worth. Yeah, I remember these being close to high AUG value. They were like 32k. So to see it worth that much, that's pretty good. We'll take that. Also, in case you didn't notice, I tagged all of the gargoyles just to see where their spawn points were. And I'm standing like right next to one of the spawn points. That way I'll always have one to attack me, because it was kind of annoying having to click on each one after they stopped attacking me. But with this method, we pretty much just stand right next to one of the spawns, and we always have one to fight. And even if none of the other ones attack us nearby, it only takes like 10 seconds for them to spawn, so not really a big deal. Also, I am a complete idiot. Forget everything that I was saying about not getting any heals. I just realized that I didn't even have my Guthan's helm on. I was like, it's been a while since I've seen a heal go off. I didn't have my helmet on. I still had the stupid Slayer helmet on. So don't be like me, and do not forget to put on your Guthan's helm. Yeah, I feel kind of dumb now. There are the heals. Oh, also, I didn't notice, but we just got 10,000 coins. I didn't notice because it didn't drop directly to the ground, and instead went directly into my inventory thanks to this lovely ring right here. So highly recommend. Just in case you were wondering, the drop rates of these certain items, the Granite Mall that we got earlier was a 1 in 256, so pretty rare. More rare than that, they have a chance of dropping the Mystic Robe Top Dark at a 1 in 512, so that's pretty rare, even though it's only worth 72,000. The Rune 2 Hand Sword was only a 1 in 64. The Full Helm is a 1 in 42. So, yeah. Not too rare, but yeah, the Granite Malls shouldn't be too common. If we are to get these on drop rate, we should realistically see about 4 after we do 1,000 kills, but we'll see. It's already been about an hour since I've done this, and we've only killed 81 gargoyles. So, yeah, pretty bad. Now, of course, it's, no effort involved. All we're doing really is just resetting aggro and picking up the valuable drops. So very minimal effort required, but yeah, we're not really getting a lot of kills here. And there is Granite Mall number 2. Another 200,000 added to the bank. Granite Mall number 3. Like, what, 15 kills later? Something like that. We take those. I just got a shield left half. So normally the drop is a 1 in 100,000, but I am wearing the Ring of Wealth, so it brings it down to a 1 in 6,240. Still pretty rare. So this first trip lasted about 3.5 hours, and the loot tracker says that we've killed 253 gargoyles for 1.94 million. So yeah, everything worked out pretty well. We ended up using all of our combat potions, all 5, and our inventory is pretty much filled up except for 1 space. So let's do a quick little price check. Cash stack is at about $1 mil. Let's add everything else. Wow, actually more than what the loot tracker shows. I'm actually considering switching up the method once we hit 500 kills. I'm thinking maybe we do 500 kills in Guthan's, and then we switch it up and bring our best strength gear for the other 500 kills. And that is Granite Mall number 4. That is Granite Mall number 5. Alright, so this will be kill number 500. Took about 7 hours to do 500 kills, so yeah, not the fastest, but I have decided that I'm going to switch over to the best strength gear that I currently own. Not best in slot, because I don't own best in slot, but yeah, we'll switch it up to do some more damage and see how many kills we can get per hour. But first, I'm going to sell everything off just so we can see the GP per hour. And of course, reset all the trackers so we don't, mix it up with the new stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. So according to the loot tracker we've done, actually, hold on. I may have messed up. So I know for a fact that last gargoyle kill that I did was number 500, but the loot tracker says 499. The loot tracker says 499 kills with 3.47 mil made. And if we look at all the loot that we have here, it's 3.6 mil. And that's because we didn't pick up every single drop. So maybe it's not entirely accurate. We're going to go do another 500 kills or 501 until the loot tracker says 1000. But we'll also keep track of how many gargoyles we've killed with the ring. So yeah, we'll keep a note of that. All right, so there we go. We've sold off every single drop that we got for a total price check of 3.6 mil. Now let's go ahead and factor in the supply cost. So if we look at the supply tracker, we only spent 11,000 GP on Alk runes and the combat potions, which are extremely cheap. But most of the supplies is actually going to be the cost of the Guthans. So let's go ahead and go repair that real quick. And it cost us about 78,000 GP for about 7 hours of use. So not bad at all. So if we subtract the supply cost, which was 89,232 GP from the money that we made, that gives us a grand total profit of 3,457,456 GP. And if we divide that by 7 hours, that gives us a rough estimate of about 500,000 GP per hour here at the Gargoyles. Although I'd say it's a little high considering our kills per hour and considering the fact that we got, I believe, 5 granite mauls, which is pretty darn lucky. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my new gear setup going. We'll reset all the counters and start again. Another 500 kills on the way. All right, so this would be our best gear that we have for strength. So I swapped the Guthans over for Bandos, Chestplate, and Tassets. The weapon is now the Grazi Rapier and the Avernic Defender. And of course, the Nate's not face guard for the helmet. There's better stuff that you can use, but I don't currently own it, so this is what we're bringing. We still have our Guthans for healing, so we'll switch over to that whenever we need healing. We switched our combat potions for Divine Super Combat Potions. More expensive, but a lot more effective. And then, of course, we brought some Prayer Potions to help sustain with Piety, so we'll be using that. We also have our Cerdom and Godsword still to get hit points and Prayer back as well. So let's get back in there. Kind of excited because I don't really get to use this weapon that often. Fang kind of outclasses this everywhere, but apparently according to the wiki, the rapier is better than the Fang here, so we'll be using that. So just something that I wanted to mention, I did end up keeping the Ring of Wealth imbued. I would just much rather have the effect of automatically picking up coins than the slight DPS increase that I would get. It's just too nice to pass up. Also, something that I wanted to mention, I do believe that we killed more than 500 in the beginning because I just killed, what, 3? And the loot tracker just shows 1 kill. So I think that the reason why that happens is whenever we don't get a drop. So for instance, if we kill a monster and it doesn't drop anything, it doesn't show up in the loot tracker. But it also doesn't show up whenever we get a coin drop because it treats it as if there's no drop to show for it, since it automatically goes into our inventory. So we definitely killed more than 500, and that's why it felt so slow. Yeah, that's why it felt so slow with the first 500 that we did. I was like, there's no way we're getting 70 kills an hour when the video that I made like 3 years ago, I think we got like 130 kills in 1 hour. And for us to get 70 with like better gear upgrades than we had in that last video, it just did not feel right. So yeah, we definitely killed more than 500, and I'll definitely be using the Slayer Ring to keep track of how many kills we've done. So yeah, no idea how much we've killed before this, but definitely more than 500. And there's our first Mystic Robe Top Dark. I believe I said this was like a 1 in 512 chance at getting that, and we just got it like within the first like 30 kills or so here with our new setup. 30 minutes here, and we've already killed 125 gargoyles. That is extremely fast. That's a lot more kills than what we were getting before. Although what we were getting before wasn't entirely accurate. Unfortunate, but yeah, it's safe to say we're definitely getting a lot more kills. So 125 done in the first like 30 minutes or so. And if we look at the loot tracker, there's only 81 kills there. So it was definitely off the first time around. Sucks, but yeah, let's keep going. And there's our first Granite Maul of the second of the 500 kills. That is Mystic Ropetop Dark, number 2. Once again, getting super lucky at a place where I don't necessarily want to get lucky, but yeah, hopefully the luck carries on. Something that I thought I'd go ahead and mention is the fact that we actually don't really use our Guthans too often. I've put it on maybe twice to get health back, but for the most part, we're tanky enough to take hits from the Gargoyles until our special attack is ready for the SGS, and then we normally heal with this. So yeah, Guthans is rarely used here in this setup. That is Mystic Ropetop number 3. Looks like the first 500 kills was good luck on the Granite Mauls, and on the second half, it's good luck on the robes. All right, so that is kill number 500, I believe. Let's double check it really quick. Gargoyles, 4,473. Yep, by the way, that took just about over 2 hours, so yeah, much faster than the first time. 500 kills, and all the loot that we have shows 1.7 million. The loot tracker only tracked 291 gargoyle kills, which means the rest were either coin drops or nothing drops, if that's even possible. So yeah, loot tracker not very accurate whenever you're wearing the ring of wealth. So just keep that in mind. And as you can see, only 334 coins to repair our Guthans. So if we subtract the cost of supplies, which was 322,202 GP, from the money we made, which was 1,705,258 GP, that gives us a grand total profit of 1,383,056 GP. Now, if we divide that by 2, since that's how many hours we spent doing this money-making method, that gives us about 700,000 GP per hour, which is pretty good. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and thank you to all of my channel members. Once again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next episode.